So MGTOW stands for men going their own way. Men going their own way simply means this. A group of men, and they have decided that they are going to opt out of the system, opt out of the game, and go their own direction and ignore this entire societal construct. For most of them, getting rid of women, not accepting the institutes of marriage or cohabitation, basically just rejecting women in general and going out and making their own way, working on personal development, working on themselves, working on being a man and doing what they want in life, because they feel like life is not fair, that the game board is not fair, it's set up unfairly against them.
I went my own way several years ago, long before I even knew about the concept. The multitude of betrayals I experienced with women and the exhaustion of dealing with their complications led me to embrace the MGTOW lifestyle full-time. Since then, I have always kept a close eye on women and their behavior while staying far away. There are several observations I've made about women, particularly after adopting the MGTOW mindset. I noticed that I began receiving more attention from women at work and in other social settings where they wouldn't have bothered to talk to me before. It was truly mind-blowing initially. Sometimes, they even stutter when speaking to me. Now, the tables have turned, and they need to prove themselves worthy of my attention. Most of the time, my poker face causes them to stumble and second-guess themselves. I must say, I have even been approached by women who could be considered 9s, despite previously only dating 5s. This realization only emphasizes how foolish we were for settling with women who were not deserving of our time and effort. Initially, we anticipated facing backlash for embracing this new way of living, but the experience has been astonishing this far. Surprisingly, some women have even agreed with me and my perspective. We don't go out on weekends anymore. Instead, we invest any extra hours we have into going to the gym, reading books, or engaging in other personal activities. We can confidently say that it's worth it. The sense of freedom we experience and the amount of time we have compared to our married friends or when we had girlfriends is substantial. Half the time, being in a relationship means constantly chatting with or listening to them complain about life. Even a few guys have expressed their desire to live a similar life, free from organizing their lives around women. When we discuss MGTOW with others, they often find themselves agreeing with me. It resonates with many of them. When people ask me why I don't have a woman in my life or why I'm single, I simply say that I'm tired of looking. One day, I decided to just live like this. That's my story, and I believe it serves as a compelling example of someone who has increased their value simply by disregarding women. I'm willing to bet that if you suddenly started giving those women attention, especially the ones considered 9s or 10s, they would lose interest almost immediately. Unfortunately, that's just how women are.
Women don't really deal with rejection on the front end. Women deal with rejection on the back end. So basically that's like when you get fuck zoned, when a guy's not willing to commit to you or he keeps you as a side chick. That's where women get rejected on the back end. Men get rejected up front really quick on the front end. Like, go up to a girl, nope.
The reality is that women struggle to believe that some men would genuinely reject them. It's not something they expect or experience often. Straight men rarely reject women. So when it happens to them, they are taken by surprise. It triggers a desire for what they can't have. Many of these women, particularly the ones with daddy issues, may overcompensate by putting excessive effort into their appearance. Therefore, when a man ignores them, it brings back childhood memories of being unnoticed. Their curiosity is piqued, and they become more interested. They undergo a crisis of sorts when a man deliberately ignores them, constantly wondering why he isn't interested in pursuing them. If we're not enough for this guy, maybe we're not enough for other men as well. They will also accuse you of being gay and project their insecurities onto you. Ignoring women just messes with their minds. They feel the need to prove themselves to you. When you're single, happy, and thriving in your own life, it's like carrying around a mirror that reflects women's insecurities back at themselves. In fact, women do everything in their power to prevent men like these from going out and spreading the truth about female nature. For instance, when men go into monk mode and discuss women's nature, most women become defensive and label them as woman haters or similar things. They blame men for not including women in their lives. In a way, they are afraid of the damage you can cause as a content and fulfilled bachelor. You're jeopardizing their chances of finding a suitable partner. As for the women who agree with this guy and tell him that his lifestyle is acceptable, what they're truly doing is validating him. They're planting the seeds of a potential relationship because he appears so unapproachable. And a woman, especially an attractive one, cannot tolerate that. It throws her entire world into crisis when a straight man rejects her. It makes her doubt her most significant power, the power of her internal emotions. While she's outwardly agreeing with you, inside, she's going crazy over the fact that a man is ignoring her.
The reality is you can't compete with younger women, period. If there's a bad 21-year-old and a bad 31-year-old, they're going with the 21-year-old.
Right. Because it's rooted in pedophilia.
And for what?
It's
What?
less
What are you talking
baggage.
about?
No,
It's
it
less
definitely
baggage.
is rooted in pedophilia.
It's less baggage.
All that no hair, looking young, like that's definitely rooted in pedophilia,
Yeah.
and that's always been there.
What if I said that women want guys that make more money and have more status than them and more confident because females are rooted in stupidity? How'd that sound? So this is the quintessential example that male standards of what they want in a woman is always demonized. If I tell a girl, yo, you want a guy that's taller than you, whatever, we don't bat an eye. We accept it. Men get out there, make more money, get in the gym. Because if we don't, and we don't perform, girls don't come to us. But when a guy tells a girl what they want, they have some type of bullshit term. It's rooted in pedophilia.
It definitely is.
Most of the time, they will also demonize you, as mentioned earlier. When you express that you're no longer pursuing women, they automatically associate it with hating women. Women are actively trying to isolate men like you to prevent your message from spreading and damaging their reputations. That's why using the term MGTOW can lead to demonetization on platforms like YouTube. YouTube has a significant number of women working there, including a female CEO. You can imagine the kind of rules that would be implemented with women in charge. This movement has always existed. The difference now is that it has developed its own philosophy, language, and acronyms because its supporters have come together and spread the word through the internet. This is the part that women struggle with. They have difficulty understanding how we've organized ourselves and created a movement. Gossip and ideas spread rapidly in the internet age, and women are well aware of how effective gossip can be in hijacking discussions and shaping opinions. They know that gossip targeting them is even more dangerous as it diminishes their worth in the world. It makes them less desirable and reduces their ability to attract white knights to their aid. In the past, they could shame a man into getting married, but he would always retain authority over his family. Today, shaming a man into marriage could result in authorities taking away his family. However, smart and successful men are slowly realizing the movements and laws that work against them. These highly sought-after men, the ones who put in the most effort, are wise enough not to jeopardize their lives for the sake of women. They may choose to focus on being in the top 20% instead. They channel their energy into growing their careers or achieving physical fitness. Women with options have the most reasons to oppose the MGTOW movement. These women are at the forefront of radicalizing others through feminist movements. It's commendable that these men now have more time to read books and enjoy life. They prioritize personal growth and is investing their time in more productive endeavors. While couples are caught up in working overtime to buy a house and bickering over their lives, we are enriching our vocabulary and sculpting a six-pack. Meanwhile, the married men struggle just to have intimate relations once a week. Modern society is actively attempting to increase the cost of being a single man, discouraging more individuals from choosing this option. Be careful as a man not to fall into this trap.